Hey there, it's Karen Lynch. I'm the author of the new Salon Rulebook, and I just want to bring another point to your attention today. One of the things I said in the Salon Rulebook is be present and monotask. So what do I mean by that? Look, do you know, we've gone through this whole era of being superwoman or superman and being able to multitask and do a whole heap of things all at the same time. Well, seriously, has it helped us, or has it turned our mind into way more chaos and ended up making us way less productive? Well, I would say the latter, especially for me anyway. So what I have found is that by monotasking, by focusing on one thing at a time, sounds really simple, but we often don't do that, where our mind is going in so many different directions as salon owner and manager that it's really, really hard to keep up. So if we're on the floor or in the room working with clients, we're still busy thinking, I can hear that phone ringing, has anyone answered it? Mrs. So-and-so sitting up the front, has anyone got her a cup of coffee? I can hear someone doing consultation over there, I don't know whether that's so good, I've got to get back and phone that person, and all this is going through our mind. As opposed to monotasking and saying to ourselves, this is the one thing I'm going to focus on right here, right now, and that is going to be my client. And I'm going to block out, I'm going to put my blinkers on, and I'm going to block out everything else that's going on. Easier said than done, but it's a habit. And it's a habit that we can create and make ourselves do. Once we draw attention to that fact, once we're aware of it, it is so much easier to do. The client is a lot happier, we're a lot happier, we've given 100% of our focus to that client. And when we give 100% focus, we hear the client say all sorts of things. We actually really listen. We read between the lines and we really listen. So that goes to all our team out there as well. From a salon owner or manager's point of view, you know, instead of, if we're working on the computer on our office day and our emails are popping up, ignore them. Tell yourself you're going to look at your emails twice a day maybe. You know, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m, whatever works for you. But that way, if you're working on a particular marketing strategy, maybe, I know some of you are, you know, working through the Salon Success Club, so you might be working on one of those weeks. So therefore, you can focus all your attention on getting that particular thing done. Can you imagine? I think you know just what difference this does make, because we all have monotasked at times and we've focused on one thing and we've been really, really clear about that one thing that we're doing, and everything else we think, do you know what, we're going to focus on that when we finish this, or we schedule it. You know, that's really important. That's something that I do. I'll sit down at the beginning of the week and I'll look at everything that I've got to do. I write it all up, and seriously, my brain is saying, oh my gosh, how am I going to get all this done? And I've got to ring that person, I've got to do this. And we get chaos in our brain because we're trying to keep it all going in there. So what I do is I empty my brain out and I go, right, here's all the things I've got to do. And the list looks huge. But then I go through and go, okay, I'm going to put an asterisk beside the absolutely urgent, you know, the stuff that is just really seriously urgent. And so I'll put an asterisk beside that. And then beside everything else, it might be, hey, that's still really important. It's not as urgent as the urgent, but it is still really important. So that becomes a number 2 and a 3 and so on and so forth. And then I schedule it into my diary. So if you have a particular office day, which I do suggest, look, even if you find yourself a couple of hours to start off with, or an hour, you know, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself that little bit of time to do these things. And so go through and schedule it. So at 9 a.m. on that particular day, I'm going to make those 5 phone calls that I've got to make. And that's going to take me 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is. Then at 9:30, just like we do in our appointment book, exactly the same, and we're great at doing that. So make your life easier. Don't try and be Superwoman or Superman, because guess what? They don't exist. It's a fallacy. Trying to be that perfect person, you're actually already perfect, exactly as you are. And I say that with absolute meaning. That perfect super person does not exist, and they shouldn't exist. And mind is meant to, you know, be able to go all different places. So we've just got to be able to make a little bit of sense of that and put it in perspective. And that's really what it's all about, yeah, is putting things in perspective. So let me know how you get on with this. Monotask. It's the new black. Have fun with this. Thanks. Bye-bye.